Hello, my name is Donald Gorman. That's right, I'm big, I'm cuddly, and I write horror novels. I did one video a little bit earlier. It's a bit long, a little bit dry. We joked around a little towards the end, but it was a little long and dry. I want this one to be a little shorter and a little more upbeat. Basically, I'm trying to push my latest novel right now, which is Those Without Life. This novel is basically about, let me see if I can do this right here. This novel is essentially about a bunch of goth teens who are having problems with jocks in the local high school. So the goth teens, they try to, a different way of communicating with the dead. They're not too sure if it works at first, even though it's an eventful evening or two. They're still not entirely convinced that they communicated with the dead. Tension kind of slowly builds as mysterious events happen that make it a little harder to ignore the fact that they were able to communicate with the dead. Things eventually get bloody, people start dying, and it becomes obvious that they were able to unwittingly unleash some evil spirits that feed off the kids' anger, and whenever the kids get angry, people start to die. So that's Those Without Life. It's out now on paperback and in paperback, and also in Kindle on Amazon. I hope you take a look at it and everything. I wanted to talk a little bit about why it is I write. People ask me, why do you keep writing and stuff, which is kind of an odd question, because every time I finish a book, I always tell myself, I'm so glad this is over, and I always tell myself I'm never, ever, ever going to write again. But the thing is, what happens is, stories start building up in my head. I'll go through like 6 months where I won't even think about writing, but the stories are constantly running through my head, and some of them start sticking. I know some writers that, complain about writer's block and everything. I don't know what that is. I've never had writer's block. Stories are constantly running through my head, and when they start building up in there, like a log jam or a clogged artery or something, I just have to pick a story and I just have to write it and get it the hell out of my head. It's the only way to unplug my head, get the log jam out of my head and everything. It's the only way I can function and everything. So it's like I have to get rid of stuff. I don't feel like I have to write all the time, so I don't write all the time. Like I said, I'll go through 6 months, a year, or 2 years where I'm telling myself I'm never, ever, ever going to write again. But once the stories start building up in my head, it just becomes necessary for me to write again, to just unplug my head. And if you ask, what's the hardest thing about writing? The hardest thing about writing with me is having all the characters live in your head. Because it's the truth. The only way to write and write well is to have the characters actually alive in your head. You have to empathize with, know how they all think. You have to know how they all think. You have to be each and every character in the book. It's like, the average time takes me about 8 months or so to write a book. And that whole time you have every character in the book is living in your head. The good guys, the bad guys, the victims, the other side characters, they're all living in your head at the same time. Like a perfect example is, my book Paradox, which is about a serial killer. And so it's like for that 8 months, I have to have that serial killer actually living in my head. And I have to know how he feels. I have to actually be him. I actually have to, I want to go out and kill these people. I am justified in killing these people. I have reasons why I am justified in killing these people. You're like, well, don't you ever get the urge to go out and kill people then? Well, no, because I also have 100 other characters living in my head at the same time. I have the cops that are trying to stop the serial killer. The cops that are sitting there going, there's a serial killer out there. We gotta stop this guy. We gotta catch this guy. They're living in your head at the exact same time. And they're all battling for brain space, the victims that don't even know they're going to be victims yet. Side characters, they're all living in your head at the same time, and it doesn't go away. And it makes it hard living. Sometimes it makes life hard living because you're out there, you're trying to live a normal life. It's like you go to work, you go to your day job, and your boss wants you to do something, and you're like, seriously? Do you realize I have like 100 people living in my head? I have like serial killers and cops and victims and these guys and those guys all living in my head right now at the same time. And you want me to focus on sales reports, But hey, that's life. It's like, that's what life is, that's what it is to go to a job. They expect you to do a certain amount of work, in exchange for which they pay you salary so you can keep a roof over your head and keep writing. So, that's the hardest part, and that's why when a book is done, I am so freaking glad that it's done. I'm just so glad it's done because all those characters, I get to flush them out of my head like flushing the toilet, and all those characters are finally out of my head. And that's why I finally get this orgasmic, high of like, wow, it's finally over with. I finally got my brains all free again. But then the stories start building up again, and that's when I end up having to write. Alright, we're going to wrap this up because I want to make this kind of quick. But I want to do a little giveaway, though, just to make it a little more fun. I want to do a book giveaway. So I figure I'll give you a chance to win a copy of any one of a small variety of my books. Of course, the book I'm pushing most right now is the new book, Those Without Life. But I also have, you could also have your choice between that and Wrongful Secrets, which is about a haunted hotel and a child that has an imaginary friend that lives in the fireplace that doesn't like guests who have dirty, nasty, wrongful secrets. And whenever the imaginary friend of the child decides he doesn't like a guest because of the wrongful secrets, that guest turns up dead. That's a choice. Like I said, Paradox. I mentioned the Paradox with the serial killer. And he thinks he's haunted by the ghosts of his victims. And the ghosts of his victims always seem to claim to represent either God or the devil, as they encourage him to go on killing, using his recurring theme, I am the paradox that is all mankind. We have, this is good, Deliciously Evil, there we go, Deliciously Evil, a cookbook for killers. That's about a has-been rock star that is now trying to put out a celebrity cookbook to get his name back in the public light. But he's also the suspect in the murder of his ex-wife, but he tells his lawyer, I didn't kill my ex-wife, I didn't have anything to do with any of the unsolved murders that happened back when the band broke up. Any past or future murders, I didn't do it. It's the evil demon doing the murders. I'm just trying to put out a celebrity cookbook. So that's Deliciously Evil, a cookbook for killers. Then you got The Red Veil. The Red Veil is about a bride who gets murdered at her wedding reception, and then when people start dying after that, people start wondering, did the ghost of the murdered bride come back to get revenge against people who did her wrong? So any one of those novels, if you would like an autographed copy, I would like you to like this post, share this post, and if you can identify the musical artist that has been playing in the background, you might have to hit me up on Facebook for that. If you hit me up on Facebook, you can tell them my Facebook page, my profile picture is just either my personal homepage or my Austin page. They both have a section of this cover of my new book, Those Without Life, as my profile picture. So if you hit me up, let me know who's playing in the background. Share this post and like this post. And whoever's the first one who can identify the musical guest in the background, you can win a free autographed copy of either one of those books that I wrote. I hope to be hearing from you. Thank you very much. Again, my name is Donald Gorman, and I'm pushing the book Those Without Life. So, thank you. Have a good day.